Yeah, no, I agree. We could always be raising the bar. I'll circle back tomorrow with a plan for how we can move the needle even more. Great. Okay, so that's not exactly what happened. But after 8 years of raising imaginary bars and moving imaginary needles, it is how I felt. I, however, did not quit in a rage after an annoying meeting. It was more like thousands of tiny annoying meetings that slowly added up until I realized that I didn't want to be closing loops and circling back for the next 40 years. I actually did generally like my job though. It was a recruiting job at a financial services firm. I got it right out of college and I figured I'll probably stay for like a year, and I stayed for 8. Not because it was like my dream job or anything, it certainly wasn't, but the people were great, the pay was good, the work was stable. So basically I was happy enough, but eventually happy enough did start to bother me. Especially when one of the most beloved, badass, coolest senior leader women on our team dropped dead. There's nothing like a funeral to make you realize that you don't want the last thing you ever look at to be a spreadsheet. So I decided, I was like, okay, this job is good for now, but I'm gonna keep my eye out for opportunities to work on something that, like lights me up more. And about 3.5 years after starting that job, I found it. I quit recruiting to start what I thought was my dream job. It was gonna allow me to be creative, it was sustainability focused, it was women led on paper, it was perfect. In reality, it was one of the most miserable jobs I've ever had. So I lasted about 2 months and then I went back to my old job. Except for this time, I asked to work part-time and somehow they said yes. Holy shit. I can't believe that worked. So for the last 4.5 years, I've basically lived 2 different lives, half content creator, half corporate 9-to-5er, and that was generally good balance. I just had no idea what my next step would be because my goal wasn't to be a full-time influencer. I've just kind of always figured that sitting alone in my home, talking to myself, recording myself, editing myself, looking at myself, will probably not be good for my mental health, but then also staying stagnant wouldn't be good for my mental health. So I decided that I was not gonna stay in this purgatory forever, but I wasn't gonna run away from corporate again just for the sake of running away. I was gonna run away once I figured out what I was running towards, and a few months ago, I figured out what that was. So today is my first day at my new job. About 2 months ago, I officially quit my corporate job. I just logged out of my corporate job for the last time. Yes, Goose. 9 years of my life. Just in this thing. The first time I left, I sobbed uncontrollably. This time, I was very ready to go. I was very checked out. A lot of the people that I was friends with there had already left, so it just wasn't as sentimental. It's just a very big change amidst all the other changes and things that are going on right now. I'm so glad to be done with it. It's just weird. Hi, buddy. All right. You telling me to get up and move on and we can go for a walk? Okay. And I didn't quit to be a full-time content creator. I quit so that I could spend time like out in the real world doing something I actually genuinely care about, while also still being able to do content creation. And then also I just like needed something that was gonna get me out of the apartment on a regular basis so that I'm continuing to interact with people and I don't become a hermit. So I'm gonna be working part-time at a small business here in Chicago. I'm still kind of figuring out exactly how much I want to share about what I'm doing and where, just for privacy reasons. So I'm probably going to be a little bit vague about the job for now, but I'm still going to try to show you as much of it as I can without putting myself in danger. And I just want to say, I know that this is not a realistic career move for a lot of people. The only reason that I can do this is because content creation pays my bills. If that weren't the case, I wouldn't be able to walk away from a stable corporate job. The company I had been working for, it had changed a lot since I first started there. The culture was very different. A lot of the coworkers I was really close with had moved on in the past year or so. And while I did genuinely still like the job, it kind of felt like I was just staying because it was safe at this point. But when David got his new job, that kind of gave me the push that I needed, because seeing him take this chance on a new opportunity that really excited him, I kind of felt like maybe this is your time to do the same. So I reached out to the owners of a little shop here in Chicago that I really love and was basically like, hey, any chance you need somebody to work 1 or 2 days a week? And they were like, yeah, we'd love for that to happen and for that person to be you. So here we are, getting ready for our first day. There's basically like no dress code. I get my new boss, I guess. I asked him what the dress code was, and he says, whatever you're comfortable in, which is great, but it's a little too broad because now I'm thinking of everything I could possibly wear that I would be comfortable in. It's hot as balls out today, so I feel like in a professional setting I should wear jeans, you know, like, or pants. Like I shouldn't wear shorts, but the thing is that the thought of wearing jeans out there today makes me very uncomfortable. So I want to wear shorts. These are kind of professionally shorts, but also it's a very casual environment. These aren't really that casual. I can make them casual. I'm thinking too much about this. I don't know what top I would wear with those. Here's the other thing. I don't really have like short sleeve tops. I have like tank tops and then I have sweaters, you know, and this doesn't feel like something that I should wear to a place where I work, but then I also don't want to wear a sweater. So I have this, which is kind of, it's like got a thicker strap, which I think could be nice. And then I have this top, but sometimes you can see my sticky boobs when I lean over, and I don't want, you know, that to be a thing. This is cute and appropriate, but it's not gonna go with the shorts, because then I'll kind of just look like grass and dirt. Not really the vibe I'm going for. I could wear it with jeans, but then, you know, we're back to wearing pants, and then I'm uncomfortable, which is literally, that's actually literally not the dress code, because he said be comfortable. Okay, here is what we've settled on. Couldn't make the shorts work, so we're wearing jeans, but these are they're like my thinnest jeans, my lightest weight jeans. So hopefully I don't get swangry in them, sweaty and angry. That happens to me often. Nice lightweight tank top, comfy shoes. It's honestly kind of ironic that I am voluntarily allowing myself to work in like a retail-ish situation, because the few retail jobs that I have worked in the past have honestly probably given me more anxiety than almost anything else in my life. I deeply hated it. My first job was I worked at Kohl's during the Christmas season because my mom worked there, so she got me a job. So I was like ringing people up and giving them their Kohl's cash and shit, which that wasn't too bad because my mom was there too, and also like everyone loved my mom. So they were like, oh, you're Christine's daughter, like we're gonna love you too. Nepotism. And then my second job was working at Delia's, you know, the store, the clothing store Delia's, you remember that? Yeah, I walked in there once to shop and they had like the hiring sign, and I was like, I like fashion and I like Delia's, so I should work here. So I applied, somehow got the job. First day of my job, I think I only went once, maybe 2 days. I hated every second of it. I was just awkwardly standing around the store. I was supposed to make conversation with people. I didn't know how to do that. So I quit. I was like, never will I work in retail again. It's not for me. Then I proceeded to go to fashion school because I wanted to work behind the scenes, not in the front. I wanted to work back with the numbers and the computer and the design of magazines and writing, something like that. What I did not know was that in order to graduate, I had to work a retail job for an entire semester. And now obviously that made sense, you know, like if you're gonna work in the corporate part of it, you should have experience working on the front line. So I get it, but I hated it. And I was like, listen, I know that you want me to do this, but I worked like 2 days at Delia's. So do I have to? I had to do it. I got a job at this place called Sea Wonder. Doesn't exist anymore. It was Tory Burch's ex-husband, who I think was just trying to like piss her off. Like he made a brand that was just a knockoff of her basically. Anyways, I survived by hiding at the back of the store the whole time in the dressing room and telling middle-aged women that they looked really, really good in the lime green paisley shirt they picked out. If I wasn't in the back, I was in the front, being the greeter. Because if you're greeting, then you don't have to help people. So basically just bookends of the store. I was like, I can never be in the middle of the store. And honestly, how I managed to do that for an entire semester is baffling to me, because we got to the end of those, whatever, 4 or 5 months, and the boss, the manager of the store or whatever, it was like literally my last week. And she was like, hey Morgan, can you ring this customer up at the cash wrap? And I was like, I don't know how to do that. She was like, what? I was like, I've never been trained on the cash wrap. She's like, you've worked here 4 months and you've never rung up a customer? I was like, precisely. She was like, okay, well, we're not gonna train you now because you're leaving in a week. And I was like, I should get an A just for that. I don't know what skill that is, avoidance, stealth, 4 months, maybe 5, not really sure. Never had to ring up a customer. That's impressive. Maybe not in a good way, but I was proud of myself. Anyways, I think this will be a little bit different because I'm not selling clothes, and I know the owners already, and they're very chill and nice, and I don't think the place I'm working is gonna be like that busy, so I don't think I'll get overwhelmed by people, and I don't think I'll have to lie to any middle-aged women about how they look in lime green paisley shirts. I am still a little nervous because I haven't like gone into work in a really long time, because even when I was working my corporate job, I was mainly working from home. I would be in the office pretty rarely. So getting up and like getting ready for work today has been a little weird. Oh my god, why do I have like no eyelash right here? Where the fuck did it go? Whatever, I guess I'm just missing eyelashes now. That looks friggin' weird. Whatever. I literally time blocked out my morning last night to make sure that I had enough time to get ready, because I was like, I don't really even, like, I don't know how to divide my time anymore. I mean, back when I went into the office every single day, like, I had it down pat. What does that mean? I had it down pat. Is that the saying? Whatever, I had it down pat. And from the second that I opened my eyes to the second I set foot outside my door, it would be an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. But I was like, I don't have that internal clock anymore. I don't know how long it takes me to do anything. And I'm probably gonna forget a bunch of things, so I need to allot time to forget. I literally allotted time to forget things. See? 10 to 10:30, anxiously recheck things. I also gave myself an hour to get dressed and do my hair. I'm dressed and my hair is done. That did not take me an hour. And I was even talking to you while I was doing it. Okay, I need my earrings, and then I think I'm done. Okay, so I'm all ready. I'm just having a little smoothie before I head out. And so normally I would take the bus to get to this job, but I am gonna take an Uber today for 2 reasons. One, because when I'm doing something that's anxiety inducing, I try to do everything within my control to make it less anxiety inducing. So in this case, public transportation gives me anxiety. However, I have control over how I get to the shop, so I can remove that anxiety-inducing piece of public transportation by taking an Uber. However, the main reason I'm taking an Uber today is because the air quality outside is hazardous because of the Canadian wildfires. Or should I say, because the people in power won't do anything about climate change. That's the real reason. So the last time that this happened, I got really bad headaches from being outside for just like 5 or 10 minutes. So I do not want to get a headache on my way to work. So I am going to take an Uber, and then I have my N95 mask with me in case I want to take the bus home, because I'm not really as concerned about getting a headache on the way home. But honestly, it'll probably make for a good first day, because there will probably not be very many people coming into the shop. So that'll make it easy to train me on things in a nice, quiet environment. So we shall see how it goes.
What's up?
Hello.
How is it going?
Good. How are you?
Finally get you away from the pearly gates.
Yes, finally, after months of talking about it. Yeah. So day one, I would say, went well. I mostly just shadowed my manager for the whole time. Okay. I dropped my earring. It fell out of my ear. Okay. I mostly just shadowed my manager the whole time, kind of listened to his spiel when people come into the store, his talking points, that kind of stuff. I observed him use the POS system, so day one, and we're already learning how to checkout customers, so we're already doing better than I was doing at Sea Wonder. I was left alone in the store once, and of course people walked in that moment, and I said, "Welcome in," and then I forgot every word I've ever learned in my whole life. Had no idea what I should say next. Kind of wanted to ask them what their favorite fruit was. That was the only thing that could come to mind. I was at that's not appropriate. It's not inappropriate, but it's not what they would expect next. Anyways, my manager, he came out of the back where he was and he took over. So my goal today is to get farther than saying welcome in. Perhaps welcome in. Are you looking for anything in particular today? That's all you had to say, Morgan. I was having some flashbacks to Delia's, but I was like, Morgan, that was over 10 years ago. You know, you're different now. You eat sushi now. You don't dye your hair anymore. You don't put an insane amount of eyeliner around your eyes anymore. So like, people change, you've changed, and just because you got a little nervous, it doesn't mean you're gonna quit the job like you did when you were 16. That's not, you're fine. It's fine. So, day 2, that's today. I think it's gonna be better. I think it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better because I'm wearing my overalls. Don't know why I didn't think of that before. These are appropriate because my overalls are like pretty long, but they're still casual and they're cool and comfy. So, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good because we're wearing overalls. That's all we need to know. Day 2 was good. I am happy to report that day 2 was good. I already felt significantly more comfortable in the shop. It was pretty much empty when I got there, save for one customer who came in that my boss rang up, and then he offered to give her a bag, and he said he'd make it look nice because it was a gift, except for the only bags we have are bags that we are reusing. So I watched him pull out dozens of bags looking for one that didn't have a logo on it. Bags were all over the floor. I could tell that the woman was trying to be nice, but she was getting a little impatient. But so anyways, he found one. The woman went on her way, and I said, listen, that was really hard to watch. And then I made it my personal mission to organize the bags. And then mid-project, a customer walked in. I was the only one on the floor, and the time had come for me to redeem myself and welcome someone into the store like a normal, well-adjusted person. So let's see, could I do it?
Hi there. Hi there.
Welcome in.
Thanks.
Are you looking for anything in particular? Just
No,
browsing.
just looking at it.
All right. Well, let me know if you need anything. I'm Morgan. The day is done. I feel really good about how things went at the shop today. We had a pretty steady stream of customers for about like an hour and a half, and I was ringing them up, checking them out, not in like a physical way, though they were all beautiful people, but in like a purchasing way. I was making chit chat just fine. I was getting some laughs. I was like, okay, Morgan, we can actually do this. I got home around 3, felt really good, sat down at my computer, got a bunch of work done. I felt really accomplished. I feel like this is gonna be a really good change of pace for me. I think it's gonna break up my week really nicely, prevent me from just spending all week at home by myself, talking to myself, especially now that David doesn't even live here. But I also feel like I have plenty to learn there. I think that was one problem with my old job. Well, 2 problems. One problem was that it kept me inside all day because I still work from home. Second problem was I could do it in my sleep. So I wasn't learning much anymore. So I feel like this is gonna be challenging, but not like so challenging that I wanna die, but like challenging enough that I feel accomplished when I get home. And also it's just nice to feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile, because you probably could tell by some of the shots, but it's like an eco-friendly shop. So I feel like it's making a difference in the world. I feel like when people come in, it makes a difference in their day. Like they feel good. We feel good because they're buying from our small business. They feel good because they're supporting a small business. Everyone's feeling good. And that was certainly not the case at my other job. Everyone was not feeling good every day in finance. Now, will I feel this chipper about everything in like 3 months when I'm, working not a 3-hour training shift? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But like, even if every day is not flowers and rainbows and butterflies, I'm very happy that I took this leap. My corporate job, it was safe, it was easy, it was comfortable, it was, for lack of a better word, normal. And I think that also caused a little bit of my hesitation to leave it. Because I'll be honest, I think I was just afraid of becoming unrelatable. Because there's like this path that influencers typically take. They start off ordinary people with ordinary jobs. People find them relatable, and that relatability makes them more and more and more successful, and then they become so successful that they're not relatable anymore, and then their audience doesn't like them. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely had that fear, and it definitely played a huge role in why I waited so long to make this transition. And I think I was basically like afraid to admit that I was successful. And listen, I'm sure that there are people who are unfollowing me as we speak because I do not have a traditional 9 to 5 anymore. But the fact of the matter is, I worked my butt off for 6 years, building my social media presence into what it's become. And just like, what's the point of that if I don't use that success to better my own life? And like, hopefully in turn, better the lives of others too. I kind of just finally had the realization, oh, that's not supposed to do that. What did I do to you? Oh my God, is that? No. Oh, this one came off the track. See, usually it's the other one. I'm gonna let you rest. I just had this realization that I couldn't let myself continue to stay stagnant just to make other people comfortable. Like, in order for my life to feel fulfilling, I need to feel like I'm growing. And so that's what this is for me ultimately. It's like I've reached a point in my life where I kind of get to have more of a choice in how I live it, which I feel like that's really success, right? Like reaching the point where you get to live your life how you want to live it. I have the freedom to do that because of what social media has given me. And the way that I want to spend my time in life is continuing to make content about mental health and anxiety, continuing to make content that makes people laugh, continuing to make content about the chaos of our world, but then also becoming more ingrained in my community and learning more and continuing to grow. I know I'm rambling now, but I never wanted to get into content creation to like get free stuff and go on cool, fun, free trips and shit like that. Like I got into it because I wanted to entertain and I wanted to tell stories and I wanted to create and I wanted to bring people together. And now I have the opportunity to do that still through my content, but also in real life by working in person at a small business. So anyways, okay, that's enough of me rambling. I guess all that to say is just, I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate that you've been with me, that you have allowed me to make this change in my life. And you know, if you don't want to stick around for it, I understand, no hard feelings, but I really hope you do because we've already overcome a lot of challenges in my life together. And I'm sure there are still more challenges ahead, and I look forward to hopefully conquering those with you guys too. I can't just end this video with me putting a pizza pan into a dishwasher. That's not how I end it. Okay, I love you all. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video. Bye.